Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today's episode is a little interesting, and before I get into it, I'm gonna kind of give you a little backstory on this particular model. And as you can see, it is a little different, and it is from a company outside the US, which I didn't know that. So as always, we get all of our, notifications on Facebook or things that pop up. You just kind of relates to what you do and everything. And something popped up, this that kind of caught my eye, and I was like, oh, this looks kind of cool. And it was from a company called Rocker Geek, which if you go on there, they've got wooden models, metal models. They got some book nooks and kind of the normal stuff that you see on Amazon and some of the other sites that build those models and everything. And I saw this and I was like, well, this actually looks pretty cool. So I went ahead and ordered it with a couple of other things off their site that was pretty cheap. And when it came in, I noticed this, from this company that I'm not for sure where it's from or anything, but definitely not in the US. But I was still intrigued. I was like, oh, that's okay, we'll check it out. And I've actually had this for probably about a year or so. I've just been building other stuff and everything. And the other cool thing about this, because you've seen my other two, my AK-47 and my Tommy gun, and I was like, well, this is a sniper rifle, so it kind of looks, may go with it and everything. But the other cool thing with it is it comes with a case. That was kind of another cool feature with it and everything. So, I just had to go ahead and just put it together and just see how it is. I'll take you through the boards and everything, but for the most part, it looks exactly the same as any of the other wooden models that we've done before and everything. It's got your boards, it's got your pieces and everything, and it doesn't really look like it has too many pieces. And then it gives you this paper that I'm not for sure what it's for. And then this is the barrel. It's already rolled for you. So that's kind of a cool thing or whatever. And then just your springs and everything. These wooden dowels, I'm not for sure if these are supposed to be the bullets or whatever. Some sanding paper, and then I think these are just tools to help you pop out pieces and everything. But and I think the paper might be for bullets too. I'm not for sure. But either way, I'm probably not going to worry about the bullets because I would just use this just for decoration. I'm not worried about the firing mechanism. I'll still put it together and everything, but I'm not worried about shooting bullets out of this. Just like my other ones, I wasn't worried about shooting the rubber bands. It's cool that it does it, but that wasn't the main point of me building it. I just think it looks cool when you build them. And again, here's the instructions. And again, nothing's in English. It just has the pictures. So I know there's some apps you can use to help you translate, which I'll probably use and everything, but so it'll be a little harder to kind of follow, but as long as it has the pieces that you need and what you need to put together and stuff, it could be the same. So, but as always, please like, share, subscribe, leave comments, hit that notification bell, and I will get back to you. So with that, we will get started. And everything. So, and again, before we get started, as I mentioned before, like all the instructions are not in English and everything. So I was looking around for a good photo translator that would work. Just take pictures of the page and then it would translate automatically for you. So the best one I found was on something on the Google Play Store, I think, called Cam Translate, I believe is what it's called. I'll try to throw a link in the description when I get this loaded. So these are going to be kind of the midpoints of what these longer rods are going to go into, and instructions that kind of tells you to maybe to like put some wax inside the longer pieces of what these are going to be going into and everything. So, and then they also say to just be careful, you know, pressing down, making sure that you're pressing down on the right parts or spots so it doesn't break, because they even in the instructions it says this could break very easily and everything. So I would just be careful as you're pushing it down and everything. And I would say use your fingernail. I would work one stick at a time and just get it on here. I wouldn't get all of these onto one and then try to do it on another, because I think it's just not going to work. And you want the point, well, that's the only way it's going to go, but the point should be facing up, your little catch and everything. So once you get one on, then just continue down until you get all of them on, and then hopefully nothing will break as you're doing this. So, and I'll just show a couple, and you can feel it kind of, you know, snapping in place. And then I think the wax does help a little. Okay, and again, like I said, if you want to push on either side right here, just push it, you know, down, make sure it's in all the way. That'd probably be an easier way to make sure that nothing, you know, will break or anything. So it should look something like that. Okay, so this next step, you're getting like 4 B14s, these, and an A20, and then you have 6 B14s and your A19 that'll go on either side. And I'll do this end first, and then once we get to this end, there's like another little step it talks about, so we'll see how it goes. But you pretty much just want to load your B14, just line everything up, and it should just slide right on. And once you get all these on, you know, at least a couple on, then it should line up pretty good. And then with this, you want the decorative part to be on the outside, because if you see like the little lines and everything going around, and this other side is just blank. So you want that to be on the inside. So when you're putting this end point on, the ends of the rod should be going into the longer ends, not the circles and everything. So, but you still got to be careful pushing it in, because it's hard to get it on there, but it's going on. You just got to be careful pushing on this right here, because you know, it could, you know, potentially damage it. And I'm just a hair off. I'm just pushing it down I'm not trying to push it down too hard, but this is about as good as I can get it. I mean, you'll need to go get maybe another set of pliers or something and try to push this down. But I just can't get it to slide down anymore. Again, I don't want to push on this too much because I don't want to break anything. So, I mean, it's just off by a little bit. So, I'm good for now. Just be careful, again, pressing this, because it's a little delicate. So this other side, once you get all of these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, these 6 B14s on, if there's a little gap at the end, before you put on this last piece, then there's 2 little fillers that you can use. It's J12 and F15, and there's 2 different thicknesses, if you can see. And so they want you to use these in case if there is a space, because this is supposed to be, these little tabs are supposed to go inside and latch on to the other side of this right here where it's grabbing onto it. So, so if you can get that and there's no gap or whatever in between here, then you're doing good. So we'll see how this goes. Putting these on. Again, you're just gonna push down the ends, and it should go down. So just kind of squeeze the end points, make sure they're going in where they're going in. Okay, let's see how this fits on. Let's just see how this fits on. Okay, you know what? Yeah, there's really no way to have that. It's just going to be, oh. So it gives you these two little fillers, but using either one, it's not really going to get rid of the little gap that's there, because it's saying like it wants it to be kind of flush against the edge, but those two fillers that they give you isn't, neither one's going to work. But either way, so this is what this should look like now. You got this, the longer side, it's got the tab sticking out, and then this is just flush. So you're going to grab your accordion piece, and it looks like they want you to, wrap it around. So I would start with the open inside and just pick a spot. I don't think it matters. And then just stretch it, start putting it in the holes. Just work your way around. Yeah. So when you get to the end, this piece should lock into this piece right here. So may have to stretch a little and just kind of push it in. And then you can just kind of push the ends down as you're going around. There you go. There's your silencer and everything. And I'll come back later and probably paint or stain or whatever, because again, I didn't want to do this, and have that paint mess with it or whatever. So, but there you go. There's your silencer. That's how big this is going to be. So getting our stock, and it's just doing our A1 and B4 pieces that we're going to be putting together. And it talks about waxing this little area right here, and then waxing the inside of this right here, just for the components that are going to be going in there. I think the trigger is going to be going in there and everything. So they just want you to put it on top, line everything, and it's kind of good because it kind of, each hole tells you like which piece is going to go into and everything. So that kind of helps. And it's probably best to throw it on a flat surface so you can, push things down. And if you want, you could always put the piece in here first to make sure it goes in, and then slide this on top of it if you want. We'll see how it goes. I may actually do the ones in the back here first. See how it goes. So I thought you could put it on a flat surface, but you can't, because this is going to go all the way through, and it's going to go all the way down until it locks in. Where it's just a level with the tabs right here. So that way it's level. It just doesn't seem like it's even because you already have the second piece here, but you're going to be throwing another one on top of this once we get all these in. And then you're going to grab D1, do the exact same thing. Let's get it all lined up here. There we go. D1. Oops. I don't think they give you any spares, so you definitely got to be careful. C2. C3. Okay. Okay, so now we're gonna be putting our trigger on. So it's gonna put that in here, and besides waxing on the inside of the stock and everything, they want you to wax this piece, the A3 and A5, on the upper part and everything. So, but just for now, just make sure it's all kind of locked together, and then you get A4. It goes right down into here. And just make sure it's level. Or just not. Just make sure it's doesn't go through the backside or anything. Ah. Get this up. Okay, and then you want to grab. You have like a little measuring piece. It's in centimeters or millimeters and everything. And then you want to get one of your springs, and you want to make sure it goes through the 4mm hole, like that, like that. And then you also want to make sure it's the inch. I'm just going to say 1.5 inches, but it's 1.5mm. You just put it up right to it, and if it's 1.5, then it's the right one. And then what you're going to do is place it right in here. Yeah. Yeah, that's for the trigger and stuff. So the next thing is to grab your A2, and you pretty much just throw it on top of everything here, which is going to be fun. Just may have to push some pieces this way, that way, or whatever, because there's always going to be one or two that just isn't going to fit for whatever reason. And then try to push it down. Without doing too much damage. Just slowly start pushing down, you know, all around, and just make sure it stays level. And just popped it right there. It's all right. Just keep pushing it in. And just push all the way down. So we got everything pushed together, and we got somebody in the way. So that's how it should look. And just try to push it as close as you can. Some of it may not go together for whatever reason, but that's okay. I'm not too worried about it. But then your trigger should, should still work. Everything. So you have your B2 right here, and then you have your. And then you have your B1, go on top just like before. And you want to flush the bottom. And again, it's the same as it labels all the pieces where they're going and everything. So just start with one, and then a D1 here. Okay. So now the next part is putting this, and this one in, and they want you to wax both sides of this one here, and then wax this here, and then wax this part, bottom part right here. Because this is going to be going back and forth like this. So I would put that in, and then you'll have this right here. Oops. just see if I can get this in. Okay. Okay. And then when you get that on, then you're going to grab another spring, the same one that you put in before, the 1.5 millimeter or inch or whatever, and then it's going to go right here. That way it'll go back and forth like that. Make sure that's in there. And then once you get that spring in, then you're going to grab your B3 and then just do like you did before. Just put this on top, push it down, just make sure everything lines up. There we go. And then again, it's just the same like it was before. Just press it all together, and then that's your trigger, I think, or whatever. So put some pieces together. Still working on the middle part and everything. Just want to get this where it's in the middle of the piece, and this is that. Looks like it's crooked. But we'll see what happens. You start with the bottom. And you're at your G5. And this will go here. Push it in. And then your G3. And then, oops, let's see. G3. Make sure it's holding it the right direction. If it's got the little angle cut out, that should be at the bottom. You just have to make sure to be careful. Pushing it in. And then you grab this piece, and then that will go here, and then the bottom go right like that. Just making sure I've got them the same. Yep. So you get like two individual pieces going on, and then you get your bigger piece going on the outside, and it should be flush. So, and again, some of these are really thin, so you want to make sure you're not pushing on anything that you're not supposed to be pushing on, especially this right here. And then the upper part. Push that in, and then just like before, make sure it matches. Oh, okay. Okay. And then what they want you to do, so that's how it should look. Like that, and then what they want you to do is, well, I don't know if they want you to wax that or not, but I'm going to wax this anyway. I don't care. I'm just going to wax the sides of this. Your D3, then just put it on top of here and just do the same as what you did before. It's just so you're not having to worry about these right here, but you still want to make sure it's lined up to push down. Okay. So we got that one on, so not too bad. Okay, so now bringing this in and we're grabbing F1. So F1, what you can do is gonna put these on right here. Again, just slowly work these on. May have to raise this up a little. There we go. To get that to pop in, because this should go in. So you get this little tab piece. You need to maybe move it up just so that it'll fit in. Okay, so there's that. So now we're gonna pretty much put all of these over here in this one. Get this out of the way. Okay. Again, just same as before. Just line up the tabs and just slowly send all the way. So that's how that should look. A full length, and then just turn it over. And we're going to be doing this back part here in a second. So, okay. So once you have that done, flip it over. Okay, and so the one piece you first worked on, that we first worked on, so this is going to go right here. Just squeeze the bottom pieces a little bit, but to get it to where it fits in all the way, slides down. Okay, and this piece, which they have it highlighted in gray, which I don't know why, but this is going to go, let's see if it's like this, and it goes in like that, facing up. Okay, so let's put the spring in like that, and then okay, I think I got it in there. Oops, I have to break that. Okay, just go back to do what we just did before, is putting on the other side's pieces, and just doing the exact same thing what we did on the other side. Just line everything up and just making sure it all fits. It's just this time you've got this piece onto it, so just make sure you don't raise it up or push on anything that's going to put pressure right here. So just try to keep it on the surface, and then just start pushing down on it. Okay, so we got that side on. Now, just like before, and it goes, yep, just like this. Except this time I can't just put this piece on first and then that one. Since it's all connected, we gotta kind of do them all at the same time. All that. So, but there you go. That's what it should look like for now at where you're at in the steps. So I can't really get into the whole picture, but both sides should look exactly the same. You got your trigger that kind of somewhat works, and then this front piece. Something I didn't go over after we finished last time is up in the magazine area, they wanted you to add some wax on the insides right here, just so the magazine, kind of goes in a little easier and everything. So just get some, just add some wax into that and everything. So let's do your F6. Somebody's so bugging me. And then you got your F7s, and you want to make sure that the tabs are on the upper part when you push these in and not the bot and not the lower. And I'm putting in the F6 first because it wants you to put into both the E3 and 6 at the same time, but it might just be easier just to put these into the 6 first. You can get your E3 how it's going to be, and then you're going to just flip it over and then just push this down. If it'll, oh, there we go. Just gotta line it up. Get that in. There we go. Okay. We'll do the bigger, looks like it's the bigger tab on the right. And then as you push it down, you just gotta make sure that it, really? There we go. It's even to get onto the tabs all the way down. So just push that like that. And then also they wanted you to wax the sides of this on both sides, because I have a feeling the scope, you're going to slide it onto that and everything. And then the last piece is your E5, and I don't think this one it matters which way it goes. Push them down like so. So that's how it should look. You're going to grab your A18, and there's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, like 12 or 13 of these right here, and then you're just gonna put them into these slots. And I guess you could have done that before putting this on, just so it'd been easier. You'd had a flatter surface to not worry about stuff breaking. But just getting these and just filling all of these holes going down. So I'll show the first couple, and then just skip right to the end. And they're not that hard to put in and everything. Just make sure they're straight as you put them in. All right, so there you go. That's how that should look. And I think they gave you get like an extra one, just in case if one breaks or whatever. But that's how that should look. And then what you're gonna do is you're going to place it right on top of your little part right here, and it looks like they want you to wax the sides a little. So I don't think it's going to move or anything, but I'll still just kind of throw some wax on there, maybe just to help it pop on, so it'll be like that. But let me put this, you got this your A9 goes down into the hole right here, snaps in. I think that's your little guide of this popping on. Doesn't really stay too well, so hopefully maybe some other things will pop on to get it to stay. So yeah, it doesn't stay. So as you're putting everything else on, I would just just take it off and just have it available, so whenever it's ready to get put on or whatever. And then you just got these other pieces here that'll get pushed down, and I would use something else. I definitely would not push. If you're going to push on the side, push on the sides. Do not push on this, on the tops right here. You just push that down like that, because I'm pretty sure they're going to break if you try to push on the very top. So use the sides to, oh, that one went down a lot easier. Okay. Put this extra piece back on. So at this point, that's what it should look like. You have this on, you put this on, you got these two guides on and everything. So it should look like that right now. But I'm going to take that off. Just put on more layers of everything, and just match up your tabs with your holes. And man, that's not even lining up at all. Hang on a second. And again, I would Probably line up the front ones first. And then, wow, those aren't even. Huh. It's like they're not even lined up right. Because I can get this on, no problem. Get these on. I think this is fine. It's just these two are the problem. And what I may have to do, oh man, it's off by a lot too. Because you can look at the holes. I mean, it's not even close to being lined up. Okay. Yep, okay. So finally got them in. So that's what I had to do, is actually had one of the harder sandpaper pieces, and it just went in and just sanded the edges on all these right here. Just sanded the edges down to get it to get into the hole, because it was just way too far past it compared to these over here, because I would rather deal with just a couple pieces than all of these over here, because all of these were fitting fine. Okay, so that's how it should look. And again, I had to sand the side here, and sand this front piece a little bit to get it to fit, because it was just too far forward for the hole compared to these ones in the back, where these ones in the back were lining up. This one down here was lining up. These two were just a little too forward, so that'd be the easiest. Just sand the ends and shrink them down to get them to fit into the hole, and then just just do a little at a time and just see how it goes. This is this is going here, and yep, I'm gonna need it. Okay, so you are gonna need your piece, the top piece, scope holder, because these holes are gonna go right on top of that, which I don't know if that would be easier to. No, we'll get it started. Let's see if how all of these are lining up. Okay, so now I'm gonna put this on and just slowly work our way down. And those pieces went together like that, and then just getting these all in together. Okay, so that's how it should look right now. Get everything on. So this one you got to be careful putting on, because it's potentially, may split where the tabs are and everything, but we shall see. Or maybe not. So that just went right on. Of course, it helps when you're not having to push it down too far. So that goes onto there. And then this goes on here. Okay. So that's how that looks with the, I won't say the final pieces, but those on there. This is kind of popping up a little bit, but there's going to be another piece that's going to cover all of it. That'll hold everything down and everything. Okay, everyone. So as you can see, things look a little different. So I went ahead and painted the top part, and then the final top layer I painted green. And then just to add some accent, the circles that kind of are supposed to be like the screws going in, I painted them black. And then I just did little touch up with black on the square here and black up here, and then I actually did some other colors as well that I'll get to here in a second. But that's just kind of what I did on the front and everything. And I'll probably do this black as well, not for sure yet, and everything. But again, I haven't done the other side yet, so that's how that looks and everything. And I got somebody coming to bug me. Okay, so we'll start with the front. So after you get all that, these final layers on, then there's some other pieces that you need to add. One of them is this, which I painted green, and it should just go right on to the piece here, out of the way. And then for these little pieces here, I painted them green, just to kind of give more, a little bit more of a green color. Okay, so there's the little green pieces right here. And then I know on this one, it's supposed to be a piece I think you're supposed to glue in, because it just kind of sits in there, which this is the first wood model where I actually had to use glue and everything. So I think this piece and then this piece here, little square, I painted them black, but I think they just fit into there. So I'm actually gonna have to add some glue. This is first time and everything, so I'm just gonna kind of throw some glue in here just to make sure it don't pop out or anything. And then I painted it black. And then this is a piece that's supposed to, I think it says sniper rifle on it, but they didn't etch it too well. You couldn't really see it, so I just went ahead and just painted over it and everything. So, and again, it's not, it just kind of sticks out a little and all that. So we'll see about that. And then same thing with this. I think it's just going to stick out a little. So I may have to come back and touch up the edge. I didn't paint the sides or anything, so let me just come back and touch that up a little bit. But so then you got that. And then over here, it's just a little piece that slides down in here. I went ahead and just painted it black, but you can use whatever color you want for it to go all the way down. Now for these two pieces here, what I decided, instead of black or whatever else, I actually picked some gunmetal that I put on this, because I was going to use it on the barrel and everything. So I think that goes in that way. So I actually kind of like the look of the gunmetal. So I was debating whether to actually use that on the trigger as well. But so got these pieces on. We'll make sure the smaller one is on the right. The thickness, the smaller thickness is on the right. The bigger thickness is on the left. But I decided to use gunmetal on that one. I think it looks kind of cool. So I'm going to use that for the barrel. To make it kind of stand out a little bit. And I know this is supposed to be a sniper rifle to be kind of camouflaged or whatever, but I don't really care about that. I just wanted to get some colors to just to make it look a little different and everything. So for this side, this is at least all the pieces, what should be on it and everything. And then again, the other side is exactly the same. I think there's just one difference. I think there's like a spring or something that goes on there. So we'll see when I get there to see if I show that and everything. But just gonna put everything on and then just paint it the same as what this is, and then just add the colors where I need it and all that. So but yeah, so I mean, not looking too bad. So just working on this back part, put this back piece on and everything. And then I was getting ready to throw this piece on, but then I noticed the spring and everything that they want you to put on, you need to have it on before you put this front piece on, because the front piece is actually going to be covering it and everything. And I'm just throwing some wax down in here because it's saying to throw some wax down in here. Put these two pieces together. And then this goes into here. Probably, maybe, yeah, I mean, probably put this on before you put the back one on too. It kind of gets in the way a little bit, but I think it's okay. And then you get your spring. It's your very smaller spring that goes into the 3mm hole. And then just kind of, and then once you do that, then you just go ahead and just finish putting the rest of this on. Looks like we're going to be working on the bolt for the rifle. So, and I'll decide if I want to stain it or paint it or whatever, so we'll see. So one side, just push this all the way down. And then the other side, just, they slide right on. So it makes it easy that way. I think I may have done it too much. There we go. Okay. And then just do the same for the other side. Where it goes all the way down. And then just putting that on. Okay. And it talks about in the instructions to use, maybe add some wax to this, but then it also talks about maybe adding glue to this because it's going to have, this is going to have the most stress on the bolt, you know, when you're pulling it back and forth or whatever. So I'm going to wait and see how it fits in to everything else and see if I need to use glue or not, because I just don't see it, but I'm not going to be, you know, using it that much or whatever. So, but we'll see. You have your edge side. You want it facing out. You want your smooth side on the inside of it. And then you have B10, which looks like it kind of goes right here. And then this kind of, looks like it just kind of fits. I don't know. Like that. We'll see. So push this in and you get your B12. Yep. So this goes into here. Actually thought that would be a little tighter than what it is, but it isn't. Yeah, okay. So you got your B12 and E14 goes into here to kind of lock everything in place. Try to push this where it's right on there. Yeah, it's a little loose, but oh yeah, you can go up and down with it. So I don't think you need glue or anything, but it's definitely loose. You'd have to kind of be careful not to overuse it too much on top here. Okay. May have to push the bottom one in a little. Okay. And then you have your E10 and E9 that you want to make sure. Let's see. So this goes into here. And then with this, then this goes right into here to the you just got to pop it in. Just be careful what you're pushing on and everything, but just get it to where you don't see a gap, you know, right up in here and everything. But just want to make sure that's good. Okay, then you want to get your A14, which was kind of cool that if you look at your board, it shows A14 right here, but you can't push it out. As you see, it's not etched. It's just telling you, hey, we sent it as a separate piece, you know, and this is where you pop it out at and everything. So, which is kind of funny because I thought that was something that you're going to use to push pieces off with and everything, but it wasn't. It was actual, you know, maybe a little trigger thing or something. So with this, you want to get your big spring. It's the biggest one you have. So, and then doesn't go anywhere. Okay, and then looks like this goes into right here, and then this with the curved, your angled part on the bottom. Push this in to where it's all the way back. I'm just pushing that in. So it should look just like that. It should be 11. Kind of the opposite piece that you just did. Push this on. Just be careful pushing everything on because it's going to be sometimes you got to. Okay. So then last piece is your E13, which also is going to hook in like before. Just gotta be careful with it. Don't push too hard on it. Okay. Okay, yeah, so there's your bolt and everything. So your plus thing right here needed to have some wax on either side of it. And then this right here, they want you to wax either side of it as well. Maybe add some wax to this just so it slides a little better and everything. But again, I'm not going to be using it or whatever. So, but yeah, so there's your bolt. But I think it's just going to be the magazine that we're going to be doing everything. So see what we got. Okay, so for these first two, let me just put this together. There we go. Okay, I think I finally got it. There we go. Whew. That was a pain in the butt. Okay, yeah, so if you have trouble getting this piece on, just sand one of the sides down a little, and then it'll hopefully you know, give you an easier time to get that on there. Okay, and it looks like they want you to throw some wax on it, so I'll just throw some wax on the top and bottom. Again, I'm not really going to use the magazine whatsoever. It's just for looks. And then they want you to get one of your springs, bend it over and everything to get it to fit. So it's latched on there really good. Okay. There we go. Okay. So got that piece done. Like this, and they want you to do the side that doesn't have the actual number on it. So flip it over like this, and you're going to grab your A13s and pretty much push those in like that. They are actually going in pretty easy. Not too bad. Okay. And then do the same for your D8. Flip it over. Okay, so you got those two there. Okay, so now I want you to grab C11 and C8, which is these two. I don't think it really matters because, I mean, they look exactly the same. So, but they want you to place these tabs in, and I'm going to gather. Not for sure how far. So you have that one. Okay, and then you grab your other C11, and then just put it in. Just make sure everything is lining up, and then just push it all the way down. Okay, now you're going to grab C7, and then place it in. So you got that one, and then you got your D8, and you want the side with the number facing out. Push these in. Okay. And then your last one for this is your D11, which I think is this one. Yep. And it's going to go onto here, but I'm going to wait because I may paint this. And I want to paint this backing so the color comes through the holes and everything. So I'm going to hold off on putting this on, but this is where this one will go. Okay. And I'll just add some here too, just in case. All right. So now I want you to add this piece. I think I didn't get one of the springs that this should have fit. I was using the bigger one. That was for the bolt and everything. So, because the spring really shouldn't be any taller than what this is, you know, as it's going down and everything. So what I did was I actually cut it off. So just got some wire cutters and just cut off the excess because it wasn't gonna stay because it was trying to push it up too high, but this really shouldn't go any higher than where, you know, this is fitting into. You know, it'll go down a little, but again, I'm not gonna build any bullets or anything, so so I just cut it off and it actually fit around it pretty good. So put in your other pieces, your C6. Okay, and then you got your D8 or D9. That should fit right on here. Just push that in. Okay, and then kind of the same thing. Not going to put the final piece on just because I need to paint this to make it match, you know, the rest of this and everything. So, which I'll show you once I get done with it. But then kickstand, I think is what this is, and everything. So, and one thing I noticed is sometimes some of the pieces they label the same number, even though they're not the same number. But you can look at the picture and see it. Like here it shows, you know, J4 is this piece and this piece, but they're not. It's not the same number on the board. J4, same. And then later on, they mislabel. It's like a 6 and a 9. They reversed the pieces, so just gotta kind of watch out for that. So, okay, so we're going to grab this piece. Okay, so this is going to go all the way through. I'll just kind of get it level like we did all the other ones. Okay, and this bottom here. Okay, and then I believe it's saying to wax some of this, so I'm just gonna kind of wax this here. You get your other piece, and it goes on top. Okay, and then do the same, just kind of wax on the inside. I guess I should have done that before I put it on. But do some on the outside. Okay, and then now we're going to grab our other piece. This piece here. Kind of the same thing, just put the tabs in, make sure they're even on both sides. And make sure that's tight, and then just go ahead and wax. It's just funny, like all the, throughout the entire instructions and everything, instead of just, sometimes it tells you like to use wax, other times it just, highlights it in gray. So you get these right here. Put them inside, and then they want to grab your 1.5 spring, excuse me, that you have, and it's supposed to go, and it's going to go into here, and then into there, and it should, once you lock these in, it'll, bring that open and whatever. So, but you can kind of leave it open for now. Do that, and then this other one, so since you put it this way, on this one, then on the bottom one, you got to turn it over and make sure it goes the opposite way, so it'll go up and down, because these two are going to connect, and I'm just throwing them on here right now. Yeah, so now's gonna be the fun part here. Okay, so this goes down into here, and then this will go, see, get these to, get your pliers. They definitely come in handy. Push everything together. And again, you don't want to press too hard to break anything or whatever, but it's just to make sure everything's aligned. This, and then you have this on top of it, and then this to go down into here. Okay, so now, so with these, now we're going to, let's see, which way? So you want to put them in like so. Make sure you can see through, and then you get your little wooden, these things are so small. You may need to use some pliers to push it down. To help it, you know, because I'm just afraid that if I try to use my fingers or something, it's going to break and everything. Okay. And then grab the other one. There we go. Okay. So yeah, okay. So get your feet, you know, for whenever it deploys or whatever. It's your A17 with the accordion on it. Get the back side. Have this go. So push this in here. It's better to do it on a flat surface. And then bring this around and put it on the side. Put the sides on. And again, just be careful, because the accordion might break. Then put this in one of the holes. And then once you do that, then go ahead and bring this one around. Okay, there we go. Just push that all the way in, like that. And then what they want you to do is push this together and then see if it'll rotate down. Push these in and rotate down, because these right here is what's keeping it from going down right here. So you definitely want to make sure you push these in. That's what rotates it up, because you can't push down on it. So push those in and it rotates it down. And then once you do that, then flip it over, and then your A22 will go right here. Just another little secure point and everything. Okay. All right, there's your legs to prop up your semi. All these next pieces are going to be the scope. And I kind of pre-painted some pieces just to, thought it was going to help, which I think it will a little, but I probably should have waited on some other stuff, but we'll see. But it's definitely a lot of the accordion pieces to round them out and everything. So we'll see what happens. Let's put two of these in between, two of the tabs in between these other two tabs, and I would just go ahead and just put and just kind of rock forward with it, because I think it's gonna, and somebody wants padding. See, this is gonna be the hard part, is trying to maintain this up here. Without this breaking. And then just kind of pushing this in, locking this in place. But then you should be doing both sides at the same time, so follow each other. And then this should just kind of not want to push too hard on anything, but It says this is supposed to go and just like that. And I don't really like how it's bent or anything. You see how overextended this piece is right here. I can just see that popping free. And everything, but I mean that's how it is. Okay, so I painted the inside of it because you're going to be able to look through one of the ends. I didn't want you to see like the brown. I wanted you to see kind of like the dark and everything. So this, I broke it. No, so the end tabs go right into the end here, and then this one is the same as before, where you get your two that pop in. And this one, it isn't really going to matter if you paint it or not, because it's going to go onto it. There's going to be another piece that's going to not really setting in. Get this in here. So this one you definitely gotta kind of work with. And do the same as you did before. Just kind of put it over and see, that one fit a lot better. I don't know why that other one didn't fit so well, but so just find a groove to put these in. You have to push it down a little to get it to slide in. Okay, and then you get your other piece right here, and this slides down. Just again, may have to push some of these down to get it to slide, and then this slides down all the way. Okay. So you have this at the top. Yeah, so you want this. You want this to be like right here. Okay, and then just like before, just push that in. Of course, it's not staying too well, but from this end, grab it. You got two rings. Push these on. And then you should have your wooden ring, H8, and then you got your Y1, which is the plastic piece. Oh, nope. Okay, so the black line don't matter. Black line was just on the, which definitely makes it a lot easier. Okay, so then you put your, and I'm going to be putting fingerprints all over this, so just whatever you need to do to spread this out.
There we go. And then just put this piece right on top of it. There we go. I think I got it. Just push it down. Definitely is tight. There we go. And then this will go right. Because this can pop off. There's really nothing holding it there. This top ring is definitely not going anywhere. Okay, so I got it on, but you may want to glue it on just so it doesn't come off, but that's how that one looks. So now we're going to hook these two together and make sure that the connections on both of them are in the exact same place. Grab your H6 and then pretty much just start at one place. Work your way around. Do maybe a couple of these, and then that way you can. That one, that one, that one. That one. Okay. There we go. Pop that bad boy in. Just see what you got. I don't know. I think it also talks about gluing these in as well, because there's really nothing holding them together. Like over time, they may pop out and everything. So that's how that looks, though. It's actually not too bad. It doesn't talk about the glue until later, but you could always get some clear glue and put some down into the, the edges, just to make sure that it holds and everything. All right, everyone. So finished painting and everything. So this is kind of how it looks. I didn't really get too much on the edge here, but not too worried about that. I may come back later and get it because I was spraying it like this and everything, but it doesn't look too bad. And then I went in ahead and I did throw some glue on the edges here, and I went around the tabs, both here and here. Put some glue under there just to make sure it won't come out or anything. But I think it turned out okay. So, and I didn't finish it because I'll eventually paint this once I put the other piece on. And the reason why I didn't paint that is we're going to be putting our little metal piece here on, which, I guess you could probably put it all together and then try to put it on, but this is going to be so tight to put on that I didn't really want to try to take a chance to try to get this to fit. There we go. May have to sand the inside of it a little, but just kind of push everything down and it slides. And then I think it'll eventually go over this section right here, and you'll be able to rotate it, but you want what? So you want the bottom in the way. You want the bottom part to be opposite of
tab, or the tab to be, you know, where your tabs are and everything, because that's going to be on the bottom. Yeah, that's going to be on the bottom and everything. So, and you always want to make sure that the number on your piece isn't, you know, on the outside, because since these are kind of going together and everything, then okay, so there. Okay, so that's how that's going to look for now. And then if you want, you can always kind of scoot it down a little further just to get it away from painting it and whatever. So, but now what we're going to be doing is doing like we did on the previous side, is putting this other end on. Putting this other end on with our little connector. Start at the bottom. Make sure your tabs are lined up. And then this is going, what we're going to do is go this way. And that way this one will be right on that one right there. Yep. So we'll go this way. And again, we'll just get it started and then kind of come back, put this tab right here. Bring that there. Get these in, pop that in, and then with this, on the other side actually went in a little easier. Did I break something? I think I did. Yep, I did. I broke it right there. Just kind of get that locked in. And I did. I broke it right there. So that's why I was saying you got to be careful with how these going in, but I'll throw some glue on it. And so that's how that looks. I'll throw some glue on some stuff and see what I can do to help with it. And okay, so got our finished scope done, got the other half painted and everything, so not too bad looking. Did the same thing, added the glue to the seams and around the edges and everything, and tried to fill in the spots that broke and everything, but it is what it is. So, and again, you want to have your middle section, you want all the tabs on the bottom part and everything, because that's, you know, this is going to be the top piece and everything. So, okay, so with that, now we're going to start putting on some of our little knobs and everything. So for the top, we have this one. Let's see here, does it matter? Okay. And then a black. And then a gray. Kitty hair. And then a black. And then oh, there we go. Pushed it down a little bit more. Okay. And then get here. And then on the side here, it's pretty much the same, just not as many levels. You want to do a gray. I'll push that down once I get that. Say gray, a black. And the gray on that side. All right. So there's your knobs. And then I'll probably push this down a little more once I get all these lined up, because since they're kind of moving back and forth, I think it's causing it to pop up and everything. So once I get all this settled in, then I'll push this down a little bit more so it's a little bit more flush. But so there's your knobs and everything. Okay. So now it's gonna be a little tricky part. Okay, so you have your base, and then you have your 2 or 4 sections right here, and these are going to go in the middle here. So I'd probably just recommend to try not to push them in at the same time. I would probably just do one at a time. Just push it in, kitty hair, and then do the other one. I think it'd probably be a little easier than trying to do both at the same time. There you go. Yeah, just like that. Because all this is going to be is just holding up the scope. Okay, so there's... I wonder why that one's so loose. Okay, so there's that. Okay, so now we're going to grab our scope. Your middle section. I'm getting bugged by somebody else. Get your middle section. And this is where it might have been beneficial to glue them all together. I don't know. And then you're going to put them down into the tab, or the opening on this. Oh, and I got them all to that. Look at that. Nice. Stop. Okay. So, again, you want to make sure the bottom, the connecting parts of each part is on the bottom. You're going to grab these and then do the same. What you did on the earlier ones is just do one at a time. Just push it through the hole. I'm busy. I'm busy. And this one's definitely being the paint. There we go. Okay. And then just have it go all the way down. And you're just going to push it up if you need to, and then grab your second one. And then have it go down. Hopefully this will go in a little easier. Kind of have a feeling it probably won't. Oh, may just have to, there we go, press it together. And then it just slides right down. I think it's the paint that's causing it. What? This whole thing came up. Okay, so you want to try to make sure the scope is centered over the piece. And okay, yeah, so make sure the scope is at least, this right here is in the middle between here and here, so you don't have this edge right here, or where this piece is trying to go over that. These needs to be kind of like right in the middle and everything, and then these should go down a lot easier. Okay, there we go. Okay, so you have that. Now we flip it over. Okay, so now you have your 2 pieces right here that just kind of pop in on the side. Okay, make sure those are right there. And then you want to add these onto here. Yep. May have to like push on top of here and then push it on the bottom of this, because that's what you're pushing into is
there. And then do the other side. Now the feet aren't going to go all the way in, which is, it just depends on how this is, but okay, so this is how this should look with this bottom piece on. Like I said, it's hard because you're pushing these through and then you're trying to add these bottom pieces to the legs of this, so you got to kind of push this down while you're pushing this on, because if you're trying to push this onto the leg, it's pushing this up. But then if this isn't centered, then it might be a little, one leg might be longer than the other, which I think is what happened. And now what they want you to do is add some wax to the ends right here. And I'll show you why here in a second. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, raise this up a little bit so you can see all these components. So, I got the bolt done, got the magazine done, took a little bit off of that, got the magazine done, got our little kickstand completed, everything, and then we got our scope done. So now, that's the one thing I didn't show you is how everything went together. Okay, with the bolt, this is how this goes in. So when you place it in there, you just kind of get the right groove. You want to pull the trigger, and it'll slide in, and it'll push this lever down to go in all the way, and then it'll lock right in. Now when you exit it, it kind of locks right here. So you want to pull the trigger, and then it'll go back to a certain point, and then you need to push this down for it to exit completely. And you need to wax the both sides and the insides of here as much as you can, and just work with it, because initially this wouldn't go hardly at all, and I had to mess with it to finally get it to go and everything. So so you just gotta work with it. Okay, magazine. This I had to work with too. You want to make sure your notch is facing away from you. You want to line it up, and it just snaps right in. First couple times I had to almost jam it in because the wood pieces were just really rough. And then to remove it, you've got this little catch right here. Once you push it up, it comes right out. So that's how you do that. Then your kickstand. I actually forgot to put these two pieces on. I showed you, but you just put them straight on, and I just put some wax on the ends, and then this just slides right on, and then you just push these in. This pops it down. There's your kickstand and everything, and then you got your scope, and then all you do is just line it up. And as you see, I didn't paint the little grooves under here, if you can see, but I waxed the crap out of them. You just slide the scope where you need it to go, and then it'll slide back and forth between the, whatever you want it to go. You can't push it off going forward. You have to take it off going backwards and everything, but it should just slide right on wherever you need it. But that's where but that's how it goes on and everything. This is what I colored or painted the barrel. I did some black over it, and then I used the gunmetal and just lightly sprayed just to give it that little bit of tint to it and everything. So, but when you put this on, I actually start with the silencer first. So here's the silencer. This is the color. I kind of played with it and everything. So when you initially put this on, it's going to be super tight. And so you kind of need to sand inside of here a little bit just to get that a little smoother. And then I sanded the very tips of this right here. And then when you push it in, you're just going to go in just the length of this first disc. You don't want to go in any further. And also use, tons of wax on the inside and right here as well. But when you first put it in, it's going to be, a little bit of resistance, but just kind of work with it. and then once you push it in enough, it'll stay and everything. So, but you just have to work with it. With all of these wood pieces, when you're trying to insert it somewhere or trying to get it to fit somewhere, it's always going to be rough, you know, the first couple times that you do it. But once you put wax on and just work with it, it'll eventually get put on there and everything. So, okay, so now putting this barrel on, and let me tell you, it was a little chore and everything. So, but what you want to do is on your little side front pieces, you want to push this down. Actually, I'm going to take off the kickstand here. You're going to push this down, and then you want to make sure the little tab on the end is facing up, and then you want to line it. Yeah, make sure this is lined up the very bottom, and it took me a little bit just to even get it down to the bottom, but I waxed the crap out of the sides and the bottom and everything. But you just have to just start at the front just to get it down towards all the way at the bottom, and then just work your way down to it, and then just slide it back and forth a little bit to get that wax going and to get the wood pieces to slide easier. And then it should just slide all the way down until you get it to the end right here, and then that's how it should look and everything. So when you have it all together, if I get it all in a shot, it should look like that. But as far as the weapon is concerned, then we are done, and that's how it looks for now. But I'll probably come back and add try to see if I can get the whole thing in. That's how it looks. So I'll probably spray a little poly over it to make it shine a little bit more, but that's how it is, you know, for the weapon itself and everything. So the only thing left is to work on the case, and that'll be it. Hi everyone, welcome back. So our next step, we finished our sniper rifle. So the next thing is working on the carrying case or storage case, however you want to do it. And it's from the same company, but this one should not take hardly no time at all. But I am going to stain or paint or whatever. So, and just to show you what it comes with, just like I always do, it comes with one long piece, two long pieces, and then a kitty walking in front of it, as always. And then there's just these two boards with the holders and stuff. So it just comes with 4 pieces and everything, and then it comes with this little like clear piece that you can like look in, some little components, and then here's the instructions. So that's it. So I don't expect it to take too long. We got our pieces stained and all the pieces out and everything. So what I decided on the outside of the case, I decided to do my normal brown that I normally did on the other wooden guns that I did, and then the inside I went ahead and I stained it to black, the espresso and everything, so that way you know, the color wouldn't really compete with the color of the gun and everything. So just to make it 2 different colors instead of 1, I think it might look a little better, but we'll see. So this one is the one we're going to be starting out with. You can tell by all the grooves, and it doesn't have the etching on the front, but you can tell by the groove or the holes where everything's going to go. And for the separators of what's going to separate all the pieces, I went ahead and stained it the blue, just to kind of make it stand out a little bit more. I was thinking of doing the same color to make it all black and everything, but just add some more different color to it. So this is B2. You want to make sure the round piece is facing in the back. This is going to go over here. Make sure the tab's facing down. And then I don't think it matters which one goes in which hole, because I believe they're both the same. Oh, I guess it does matter which pieces go on which which pot.
hang on. So the A7 goes in the back because the bottom piece is actually longer than the A6. So, and the holes are different sizes. I thought they were the same. So you definitely want your A7 in the back. And then we'll put these back on again. So whenever you see something that don't look right, and you always know something's up, or that you missed something. Okay. All right, now this goes into here, and there's like 6 holes for all of this to go into. So I would just kind of start with one. So you got to be careful pushing these down, to say the least. Just make sure they're all down as good as you can make it. Okay. Or B12 handle, which is the bigger one. Everything. So this, you're just going to place it in the hole on either side. Like that. And then it'll rotate in the hole and everything. You just got to loosen it up and all that. And of course, it helps if you have the pieces lined up correctly. Make sure the ovals or the openings are facing up. Make sure your round pieces are in the back. And then they want you to kind of go into the edge right here, but then it has it showing it as being flat and everything. So what they want you to do is, because it's going to go in between, so what you got to do is wrap this up. I think I just broke something. Maybe, I don't know. But with that, raise it up and try to put these in to hold it. And then there's this one. There we go. And just kind of raise this up as best you can to go ahead and raise these up and place them in the holes if you can. Hopefully it won't there we go. Okay, now that'll kind of hold it up, make that curve. Now this is going to be the hardest part, is getting these up in here. That's what I don't get, is you almost are going to have to, when you bend these up, these are going to be in the way. You're almost going to have to lift these up to get them in like we did for these. It's like because there's no way. Okay, if you bend it down, it may, sorry for hiding this, but if you bend it down, it may slide right in underneath it. So if you push this down, it'll slide right up underneath it. And you gotta push it in, slide it in to where it's in there. And then for this one, is there a hole? Yep. For this one, I have to push in.
Okay, so that's how it should look on the side. Again, you'd have to get these and kind of push it down to get up underneath the little lip right here and everything, and it should kind of go in there. So that's how this piece should look. I think this is the bottom and everything. So once you do that, then you grab two of your sides, and it don't matter which ones. There's like two pieces on the A board and two pieces on the B board. These right here, and they look exactly the same, so it don't really matter. And so what I did was the outside, I painted the brown inside the black, and we're just going to be putting these on the end. So it don't really matter which way that they go or anything like that. So it should just slide right in. Okay. So there's your bottom piece with the sides and everything on it. Oh, trying to get a bigger view here just so you can kind of see it all. So you got your bottom handle on. Oh, I bet you I should have had that as the... Yeah. So this one, the design probably should have been on the bottom, so you'd see that, but I left it on the top. So, but I can't fix it. I'm not even going to try. So, put all your connectors in, and you got your sides on both of them. So, okay, so there's that. This is going to go right into here. Using you see the trim detail side over there, at least the one with the number. So you want to flip it around, and you want to put in these. Okay, and then these are going to go into here somehow. And then these other ones are going to go I got you. Okay. See, and these other ones are just going to slide in and stick out on either side. Okay, and then these back ones. I'm going to have to slide this one back out. Okay. And there we go. Just make it flush. And then if you need to push the tab in a little bit more, that's fine too. Because we're going to be putting on the outside one. Okay. Because you're going to have a piece that's going to be sliding back and forth and everything, so I just throw your spring in first and then put that in there. And this is what's you're gonna use to unlock something. So kitty here. So go ahead and put the spring in, and then put the back in first, and then just push it in, and then you just kind of test it. So it shouldn't matter which one of these you use because they're both exactly the same, but you want to line them up to fit the 4 pegs that you put on. And just try to line everything up. Okay, and just push that together. Okay, and then you have this piece that you just slide this peg in. Yep. And then you just plug it in to the main. That's it. And it doesn't feel too okay, so you want to make sure your B10 is over here and your B9 is over here, because the openings, make sure your B10, your back piece, is on the right side and your B9 is on the left side, because the opening goes different directions and it affects how you, the opening of the case. If you have them swapped, then you won't be able to flip it open. So just make sure those are good before you push those in. Put in there. And make sure the round piece is facing the right side. And then it just fits in here. Just push it all the way through. All right, and then to test it, both sides should open the opposite direction. That's how you know if you've got this back piece on correctly or not, because if they don't move, then you know you got the back pieces on opposite because of the openings and everything. So, whew. All right. Okay, so again, make sure the round piece is in the back. Oh, that just sits right. That's not tight at all. Which is, it might be okay. We'll see. Okay, it doesn't really say which side for your A1, because one side's smaller than the other. It doesn't really say, which side you're supposed to use. All is on the, okay, it's small end. I was looking further ahead in the instructions, so the smaller end goes toward the bottom. Peel it off. I try not to touch the actual surface, but I know I'm going to. This is just the way it is. Okay. Just the way it is. And just place it down like so. Then you got your tabs. Okay. Actually, I think is that? Oh, that is it. Okay. So that now you can put your A2 in, and it should fit. Right over the glass. So this one you want to make sure it's the undetailed side. That's what I should have done with the other one, and I didn't. And do the same. Yep. So do the same as what we did previously, is rotate this up to put these. This one, I don't know why it's not. Oh, there we go. Oof. I was afraid I'm going to break something. There we go. Okay, and then just like before, just push it up. Get them in the holes. There we go. Lock them in. Just do the same what we did before. Just kind of push these down to get underneath. to lock them in, and you just kind of pull them up without breaking anything. And then this will go. Just like that. Okay. Get your sides on. Exact same way. Just push them on. Let's see where. There we go. So there's that. Okay, so there's your top and there's your bottom. So now we're gonna grab both pieces. So grab the bottom here, grab the top, and it should go just like that. The back should look just like that. And then what we're gonna be doing is just inserting these little tabs in the back. I don't think it specifies yet. So there's really nothing to hold these tabs in. I mean, they're kind of loose, but really nothing to, when it just opens up, it doesn't really stay or anything. So kind of wish they'd given you some of the round pieces to go around these to kind of hold them in. Throw some wax. In here. And it's just part of one of those things where you just gotta just keep working with it, opening and closing it and stuff before it'll, get going. Should be able to just close it. Yeah. Yeah. Just going through the motions. Just opening, closing. Should be able to just close it. Yeah. And then just open it. Yeah. See. There we go. Okay, everyone. So I decided to just make this the final review of the sniper rifle and the case and everything, just to put it all together and everything. Just so I'm not having to do, multiple things, whatever. So here you go with the sniper. So I actually think it turned out pretty good and everything. I like the color on it, but of course you can do whatever and everything. And the only thing I didn't do was make the bullets. Now, it still did give you all of these that you could potentially use, but I don't know if all that paper you were supposed to wrap around it to make the bullets or whatever. I mean, I'm not for sure, but you have all these that you can make bullets if you wanted to. And I may end up maybe sanding these down to look like bullets and painting them because there's a spot in the case for the bullets and everything. But I just didn't want to do them because I wasn't going to use them, and I just didn't think that they would be shot out too fast because it wasn't really a strong spring that was going to be in there or anything like that. So what I want to do is just kind of go over everything, and then I'm going to break it down and then put everything into the case and all that. So again, you've got your bolt right here that you got to pull the trigger to bring it back, and then push. Once you get to the certain spot, you got to push this down, and then it'll slide out the rest of the way. There's that. And then your magazine, it fits in there real nice, but you gotta, work with it to get it to lock in and everything. But if you push this up, this pops right out. And
that. And then you got your scope. That's on here. It's not too bad. And then you can just slide it right off. Everything. And then your stand. You just push those together, wind it up, and then pull it off on the end. So everything they made really nice and easy to pull off and everything. And again, the other side, nothing really too different than what's over there or on the other side and everything. So it's just with the bolt and the see-through and all that, it's just easier to, you know, just more of what maybe people want to see or whatever. Okay, so the silencer, you just kind of gently just work its way off the barrel. Don't try to grip it too hard or anything like that. And then the barrel, if you hold it right here and it should just come right on down. And again, with this one, I had to work with it for a little bit to get it to slide on right, and used a ton of wax and everything. But once you kind of get that in there, it'll slide right in there real nice and everything. So there's your base weapon with everything off of it that you can take off of it and everything. Okay, so now here's your case. Nothing special about it. It's just regular case. Got your hinges on the back, got your handles on the front. And then if you open it up, it'll fall all the way back and everything. And it's tells you the specific positions that this will go into. So first, you put this in, it'll lay down like that. Then you got your bolt. It goes in right here. Slides into there. Then you have your stand, which you gotta squeeze the legs together and make sure that it's as far this way as what you can make it, because you got or at least make sure this part is off of this line, because you have this one that's going to come right over top of it. So you just got to make sure that this right here is not over that. And then you have your magazine, which just fits right here. There's nothing really to hold it steady. And then you have your scope. That's going to fit right into here like that. And now this will slide depending on how far where you put this middle section. If you didn't glue it or anything, you can move this back and forth to get this to line up, but it really shouldn't go past this line right here, and you don't want it too far to where it impedes, gets in the way of this. But it's okay if they're just right next to each other and everything. So, but the bigger section has to go over here. And then you got your silencer that goes right here, just like that. And then your barrel just goes on like that. And there you go. That's there's everything in your carrying case and all that. So it's actually not too bad. And then you close it. Should just snap right together. There we go. Just kind of snap it in there, and then you just carry it or whatever, which I'm not going to carry, but yeah, so not too bad. And then open it up, just push those up and pop that open, and then if you want, you can put everything back on. Now again, you got to make sure you have your little notch is at the top here that goes on. Should just slide right on. I still like to go slow. Don't want to take any chances. And you got your stand. Just slides onto there. Okay, and then you got your bolt. It should just pull the trigger, slides all the way to the front. Oh, Then you got your magazine. Just fits right in here. Snapped right in. And then you got your scope. It just slides right on. Wherever. Don't have to be right in the middle, but as long as it's somewhere in there. And then finally, your silencer. Again, this one I had to mess with a little bit too to make sure it goes on and stays on and everything. And again, you don't have to push it on too far, but you still got to work with the wood and use a ton of wax and everything and all that. So, but there you go. There's your your sniper rifle and carrying case. Again, not for sure what company, because it was on the Rocker Geek website. But yeah, so no, I actually enjoyed this, and definitely like staining or painting the wood models because it just makes them pop a lot better and everything. So yeah, so no, I definitely enjoyed this one. But with that, I appreciate you watching, and see you next episode.